Most people don't realize the incredible transformation taking shape right now in Liberia, a country once devastated by prolonged conflict and a deadly epidemic. Imagine a nation scarred by war and disease, poised to launch one of Africa's most ambitious education overhauls. Picture this: 100 brand new schools rising across the country, classrooms equipped with solar-powered computer labs, more than 2,000 new teachers officially hired, and every single classroom connected to the internet, all planned to happen by 2027. This isn't just about building schools, it's about building a future. So, before we dive in, hit that subscribe button and join me on this eye-opening journey as we explore how Liberia is rewriting its story through education. Let's get started. To truly grasp the magnitude of Liberia's education overhaul, you need to understand the country's painful history and where it stands today. Liberia's schooling system was almost completely shattered by 14 years of civil war that stretched from 1989 to 2003. Schools were destroyed, teachers fled or were lost, and generations of children missed out on proper education. Then came the Ebola outbreak in 2014, which further crippled the health system and disrupted schooling across the country. Fast forward to 2020, when the World Bank's Human Capital Index, a tool that predicts a child's future productivity based on health and education, ranked Liberia at a mere 0.32. This number means a child born in Liberia today is only expected to reach about 32% of their full potential as an adult because of limited access to quality education and healthcare. To put it bluntly, 2/3 of a Liberian child's potential is slipping away before they even start their adult life. This isn't just a problem for individuals. The consequences ripple throughout the entire country's economy and social fabric. Half of this lost potential is directly tied to poor education outcomes, as shown by several recent studies. With adult literacy hovering around 61% and even lower for women, who often face additional barriers to education, Liberia's growth is being held back by a lack of skilled human capital. But here's where the story shifts. The government, together with partners like the World Bank and UNICEF, has laid out a clear and ambitious path to reverse these trends. This new education plan isn't just a hopeful dream, it's a carefully designed strategy that aims to rebuild Liberia's education system from the ground up. And that's why this matters. It's a chance for a new generation of Liberians to unlock their potential and for the country to leap forward. So what exactly is the 100 School Initiative, and why is it causing such excitement? In May 2025, Liberia's Education Minister Jaso Malijala revealed a game-changing project during a government briefing called the MFDP Deep Dives. The plan is to construct over 100 new public schools across the country, financed by a massive US $90 million injection from the World Bank's Excel project. But don't be fooled into thinking these are just simple school buildings. This initiative aims to build 156 schools that will feature modern computer labs under a program called IRIS, while 28 fully equipped science labs are already completed, and another 50 are being built. These labs are crucial because they introduce practical STEM learning, science, technology, engineering, and math, which have long been missing or underdeveloped in Liberia's classrooms. There's also a tech side to this push. A mobile learning app designed to help students preparing for their West African Senior School Certificate exams is currently being piloted in 5 counties. This app, developed by local Liberian tech innovators with support from UNICEF, is already helping over 2,000 students gain access to study resources on their phones. This is a big deal in a country where traditional schooling resources have been limited. The construction phase is set to kick off in late 2025, with the first priority given to counties that have historically been underserved. This targeted approach ensures that areas that need it most get attention first. But the plan goes beyond bricks and mortar. There's a strong focus on digital infrastructure too. Solar panels are being installed to provide reliable electricity, and fiber optic cables will connect all secondary schools to the internet by 2027. This connectivity is vital for enabling access to digital learning tools and global knowledge resources. In other words, Liberia isn't just building schools, it's creating learning hubs ready for the 21st century. And this is only the beginning. One of the biggest challenges Liberia has faced in education is the shortage of qualified teachers. For years, many classrooms were understaffed or staffed by teachers who lacked basic skills. In fact, around 88% of teachers failed fundamental literacy and math competency tests, meaning students were not getting the quality instruction they needed. Recognizing this, the government has taken a bold step. Over 2,000 volunteer teachers who had been working without regular pay are now officially on the government payroll. This means they receive stable salaries instead of inconsistent stipends, which has been a huge boost for teacher morale and retention, especially in remote areas where it's hardest to keep qualified staff. But paying teachers is only part of the solution. Since 2019, Liberia adopted a competency-based curriculum designed to focus on practical skills and understanding rather than rote memorization. However, this curriculum faced setbacks because many teachers hadn't been adequately trained to deliver it effectively. The Excel program is changing that. It's funding updated training programs, teaching guides, and mentorship initiatives for 12,000 teachers and principals across more than 2,300 public primary schools. These efforts cover education from early childhood through grade 6, ensuring that teaching quality improves alongside the infrastructure. Investing in teachers not only enhances learning, but also builds a foundation for sustainable education reform. Next, we'll see how technology and STEM subjects are integrated into the classrooms, shaping the skills of future Liberian students. Building new schools and hiring teachers is one thing, but creating a future-ready education system means embracing technology and science like never before. The Excel project has made this a priority. Under the IRIS initiative, 156 computer labs are being installed in schools, opening up access to digital literacy and computer science for thousands of students. Science labs are also multiplying. 28 are already operational, with 50 more under construction, all funded through the government's public sector investment program. Why is this important? Because research worldwide shows that access to science and technology education significantly improves student performance and opens doors to careers in growing sectors. The Liberia Telecommunications Authority is working closely with the Education Ministry to map internet access nationwide, pinpointing which areas lack connectivity. Plans are underway to install solar panels and fiber optic internet connections in every secondary school by 2027, ensuring that urban and rural students alike can access the same digital learning resources. These aren't just fancy add-ons. In today's world, digital skills are essential for joining the workforce and participating fully in society. Liberia's investment here is about preparing its youth for the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow. All these efforts are part of a much bigger picture called the Arrest Agenda for Inclusive Development, or AAID. This is Liberia's comprehensive 5-year plan to invest $2.36 billion into building human capital, the skills, health, and knowledge of its people, to drive long-term growth. Education is a cornerstone of this agenda and receives one of the largest shares of funding. The AAID plan doesn't just focus on building schools, it also aims to increase STEM education, improve inclusion for children with disabilities, with an enrollment target increase of 10%, and expand technical and vocational education and training, TVT, to better match labour market demands. Another key part of AAID is overhauling national data systems. Real-time tracking of school attendance, learning outcomes, and teacher performance is essential to managing reforms effectively and making adjustments where needed. In late 2024, Liberia also secured $28.7 million in grants from the Global Partnership for Education, GPE, and $60 million in International Development Association, IDA, credit. These funds specifically target foundational learning materials and teacher support programs for early childhood education through grade 6. This isn't random or piecemeal spending. It's a systematic approach designed to transform Liberia's education landscape comprehensively. When education systems improve, the effects ripple far beyond the classroom walls. Liberia's investment in education is set to bring transformative economic and social changes that can redefine the future of its people. First, expanding access to education across rural and underserved communities helps close the long-standing gender gaps in literacy and school enrollment. Liberia's Gender Parity Index for Literacy, which measures equality between boys and girls, has been creeping upward, from 0.87 towards 0.95 showing real progress toward equal opportunity. Education empowers girls and women to participate fully in society and the economy, leading to healthier families and stronger communities. Second, the focus on science and digital labs is expected to boost student performance significantly. Studies from similar programs across Africa demonstrate that exposure to STEM education leads to better test scores and higher engagement. For example, the Luminos Fund, a learning program focused on early literacy, has tripled reading proficiency in countries with comparable challenges. Liberia's digital tools and lab facilities aim to replicate these successes, equipping young Liberians with skills that will be essential in the global workforce. Third, the economic benefits are profound. Poor education outcomes have cost Liberia tens of millions of dollars annually in lost productivity. When students learn better literacy, numeracy, and technical skills, GDP growth follows. It's not just about individual success, it's about building a more competitive economy that can attract investment and create jobs. Speaking of jobs, this initiative also generates local employment in the short term. Construction contracts for new schools are awarded to local builders and contractors, injecting money directly into communities. The salaries paid to 2,000 new teachers flow into household spending, stimulating local businesses and markets. These multiplier effects help build economic resilience, especially in rural areas. Lastly, the plan puts special emphasis on early childhood education, ECE, and vocational training, TVT. By shrinking class sizes to fewer than 50 students per classroom in early grades, Liberia is creating a better learning environment from the start. Meanwhile, expanding vocational pathways addresses one of Liberia's most pressing challenges, youth unemployment, by preparing young people for real-world jobs in trades, technology, and services. This practical approach to education ensures that skills taught today translate directly into livelihoods tomorrow. Here's a fact that really puts everything in perspective. Liberia was once ranked among the lowest 3 countries globally for human capital development, buried deep under the weight of war, disease, and systemic challenges. Yet today, within just 2 years, it is embarking on a massive education transformation, building 100 new schools, hiring 2,000 qualified teachers, electrifying and connecting labs with solar power and internet access, and rolling out digital learning nationwide. This isn't a distant dream or a vague promise. It is happening right now, on the ground, step by step. This dramatic turnaround is proof that even countries emerging from conflict can harness focused investment and smart planning to create a new future. Let's look at the challenges of this project. See, the road ahead is not without obstacles. For all its promise, Liberia's education reform faces serious risks and challenges that could slow or derail progress if not carefully managed. One major concern is corruption. According to Transparency International's 2024 Corruption Perceptions Index, Liberia ranks 135th out of 180 countries, scoring only 27 out of 100. Past experience has shown that education resources in Liberia can be vulnerable to misuse, materials going missing, absenteeism among teachers, and contract irregularities. Ensuring transparent oversight and strong accountability mechanisms will be critical to protect this investment. Another challenge is capacity. The new competency-based curriculum requires teachers who are well-trained and confident with digital tools and modern teaching methods. Without ongoing professional development, there's a risk that expensive computer labs and science equipment will remain unused or underutilized. Reaching remote and rural areas poses logistical hurdles as well. Building schools is just the first step. Providing reliable electricity, internet connectivity, and adequate housing for teachers in hard-to-reach regions demands significant additional resources. Without these supports, it will be difficult to attract and keep qualified educators where they are needed most. Financial sustainability is a final concern. Liberia currently spends between 11 and 14% of its government budget on education, which is below UNESCO's recommended target of 20% for low-income countries. Closing this funding gap is essential to maintain and expand the reforms beyond initial construction and training phases. Liberia's transformation from a nation crippled by conflict to one building a modern education system is nothing short of inspiring. Yet, the road ahead requires vigilance, fighting corruption, investing in teacher training, and ensuring technology reaches every student. What Liberia is doing now could be a model for other nations seeking to rebuild through education. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Should the focus be on digital access, teacher support, or stronger accountability? Share your opinion in the comments below. If this story inspired you, please like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth looks at global change.